Hey folks, here at OS Reviews. You're watching our video first look and a quick review of a Spy 1080p HD hidden camera by PUAroom. So this is a company that specializes in this type of surveillance cameras that's disguised in the form of everyday objects, and this version is in the form of a water bottle, which is definitely unique, and it sells on Amazon for around 70 bucks, and it takes a micro SD card for recording locally, so there isn't a Wi-Fi module or a smartphone companion app that you can use to monitor as you are on the go, but otherwise it's very clever in how it's built. This is just a standard water bottle that has this grill for the camera module, and this one can actually be filled up with water and placed maybe in a conference room or in a house if you want to spy on your guests, or maybe for anyone who might be entering your house without your approval. So this is the lens. You can see that's right in the center. There is a logo by the company, and also a battery that is seemingly integrated, and on the very top here there's access to a micro USB port for charging. Takes roughly 3 hours to completely charge your battery. Afterwards you'll get roughly, I would say 5 to 6 hours of continuous video recording, and it does loop the video in case the memory card gets full, so it wipes over content that it's recorded in the past, as long as you set it up at the correct mode. The version I have here came with a 8 GB card pre-installed. Other contents include the standard cap for the water bottle, in addition to a wall charger, which comes with dual USB ports, so you can also charge a phone perhaps if you aren't charging the camera module on the water bottle, and it looks like a pretty standard AC adapter. Below here there's access to the micro USB cable for charging. You can also plug it into a computer for syncing information out and viewing back images and videos taken using the camera. And finally, below here we have access to the instruction manual, printed both in Chinese and in English. It's called the K3 camera. It's documented in full color and tells you the various indicators, lights, and how to align it. So finally, the last content that we have are these stickers or labels for the exterior of the water bottle. So in case it gets damaged or gets wet, or you're done with it, when you remove it and pop out the camera, you have to use a new one because the tape is only one-time use. It's by 3M, and it sticks in place fairly well and tries to emulate a real water bottle fairly well. It gives you a bit of information about the water as well, and you can even see that the cap has a seal on it that makes it seem like it hasn't been opened before, which is quite clever. So when you are ready, basically you pop in the camera as such, and there is a power on-off switch as well as a switch for toggling between different modes, such as enabling the loop recording, switching to camera, switching to the video, and when you're done you align it using the tiny little camera hole in the center of the paper here to make sure that this is properly aligned, and then you stick on the label. So let's do a quick boot up, and what you do is tap on the power key for a few seconds. There's a small blue LED indicator at the bottom that displays the status and mode of the camera, and when you're ready it's going to stop flashing after a few seconds so that it doesn't give you away when you put it behind the paper of the water bottle. So here's what it looks like with water filled up and currently recording video. You can see that the lens is popping through this tiny little hole that you have to punch out of the paper, and that's essentially it. It's camouflaged very well in the background of this landscape of the paper, and even if the person that you're spying on takes a drink out of this bottle, they won't notice anything because the color of the water bottle, which is this deep blue, matches so well with the color of the camera that's integrated behind the label, so it's almost invisible and no one will detect that anything is awry. The angle or the field of view of this camera isn't wide angle lens, so it's not going to be 180 degrees. It's not like a security camera in that sense, but it's fairly average, I would say around 90 degrees in terms of its field of view, so it's like this. So if you are further away from the lens, if you pop it into a corner in a room on a desk, it's going to capture everything pretty well. There is an integrated microphone, but the sound quality does tend to be a little bit muffled since it's behind the paper for the most part, but for most voices it's still recorded well, but again, don't expect high fidelity audio recording. Otherwise, again, the provided 8 GB can record around 2 hours of full HD resolution video before it does a loop or stops recording completely. Otherwise, you can see that there are a few other things that the company claims on this model. You can actually use some of the lines on the water bottle and how the are actually asymmetrical to know where the location of the sensor is to you. So if you fill up the water up to specific lines, you can see how they're angled at these various degrees. You can actually know that the ones that slant inwards is where the lens is. So you can use the water line of the bottle to kind of know where the camera is pointed and recording video, which is also quite clever. So all in all, it does seem surprisingly and deceptively like an actual water bottle, and this is by far one of the most realistic household items disguised as a spy camera that I've seen come out of PUAroom's line. And they design catalogs of these type of spy cams, so this is definitely one of the most unique ones that I've seen so far. So as seen in that clip, what's nice about this camera is you can take it anywhere with you. I took it outdoors for that quick sample test, and you can see that it captures landscapes pretty well. Colors are well saturated, they're pretty bright looking. It's a fixed focus camera, so if you're recording super up close, such as text or anything like that, it's not going to do the best job. But as long as you have your expectations modest, it does a very good job already as a spy camera. Other things to quickly note, it doesn't have a infrared sensor, so it's not going to do as well under low light environments. It doesn't switch automatically to black and white, so you do need to have some light in the background, such as a ambient background room light or something of that sort, or take it outdoors, and that's where it works the best. Obviously, there are no fancy things like optical image stabilization, so if you're super shaky or you're moving this constantly around, it's not meant to compete with a GoPro or an action camera. It's meant to be a stationary camera that you set up in the house or in a room to kind of spy on people that won't even know anything has gone awry. So very clever. Not sure, if there are any legalities that are breached. Perhaps if you place this in your own house or in your own room, then you're fine. But otherwise, very clever. Almost too clever for their own good, and seems like something that's stepped out of a James Bond or a Alex Rider series novel. But a job well done all in all by PUAroom. Video quality, I think, is going to be decent and good enough for folks who want to pick this up and try it. You can check out more details in the links down below, as well as purchase links, but this has been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. This has been the Spy 1080p HD camera disguised in the form of a water bottle.